Let's talk about Jay-Z and capitalism and.
Hey man, players mess up too, bro. That's
They do.
I just don't. I think sometimes you can live within your own bubble and not understand.
Like, I mean, I'm happy Jay got his bread. Like,
Jay-Z is a billionaire.
He is 100%.
Can you just imagine the bubble that he's in? Even though he's probably somewhat connected to.
Oh, he's 100% insulated though.
It's a different type of
100%.
You know, when you're out here like trying to Bitcoin the Marcy projects and creates, you know, it's
you are. Yeah, trust me. Every part of Jay-Z's day is segmented and scheduled. Yeah. There isn't just like none of his friends can be like, I'm gonna call Jay-Z at 4:30 in the afternoon just to shoot.
See what's going on. Let me stop by and see Jay. It's not gonna happen.
No, it doesn't work like that.
So I pulled one comment from his a quote that he mentioned as it relates to this, and he says, "All the lies that America told us our whole life, and then we start getting it. They try to lock us out of it. They started inventing words like capitalist. We've been called N-words and monkeys and expletive. I don't care what words y'all come up with. Y'all got to come up with stronger words." So he's basically saying the capitalist word.
An interesting statement though.
Yeah, like he's
his audience? Like who's he talk? Like I always feel like he's talking to some people that like he's talking to some people on the upper echelon. Like he's talking
to people who are always who are never going to be happy with whatever he does.
But he says we're not going to stop.
Okay, cool.
He says hip hop is young. It's still growing.
That's cool.
We're not falling for the technology the public puts out there. Before it was the American dream. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps. You can make it in America. He says that's what it was before.
Yeah, and that was a lie. But continue.
No, but those are the two comments that stuck out to me, Lone.
And then when you do it, they move the goalposts. Is that basically what he's saying? Mm-hmm.
So Lone, I'm coming to you first.
Okay.
Let's
talk to the white person.
Yeah,
exactly. About black capitalism.
100%. 100%.
How does this make you feel?
That's what I was thinking.
It makes me feel like
Brookins.
every week.
There's a black man with $1 billion. Does that make you angry?
Lone, talk to me, man. What do you take from Jay and the word capitalist and him seeming to be, I don't know, not quite aware of where he is and I don't know how he got there, perhaps, or I don't know, man. This is a little weird because
I probably, again, I don't know, but I would guess that maybe he feels like he's got a little bit of a target on his back because he's successful. You know, he has made it out of nothing. You know, that's it. Everybody here probably listening knows Jay-Z's origin story.
Yeah,
like
that's legit.
It's not a secret or anything. He is doing well. I feel like he's a great role model in general, and everybody that's a rapper wants to aspire to be something like Jay-Z, you know, have a long, great musical career, have great businesses that you build along the way. So you create generational wealth for you and your family and those around you and the artists that you're working with, and you bringing everybody up together. And he's doing it all by exploiting capitalism. He's exploiting the white man's game, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, historically, if we're going to be real.
Jay getting over now.
So
Jay definitely getting over. And I'm happy about it for the record.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy or mad about it. I'm just happy that, you know, he's successful. I'm just like, great. You know, I'm happy to see somebody like Jay be successful. I've enjoyed following his path and all that stuff, but
he's got a great story.
But for me specifically, if I'm going to be real, I feel the same way. I said this before. I feel the same way about white billionaires that I do about black billionaires. And I don't feel like there should be any billionaires. And if you have $1 billion, that means that you're hoarding money that you probably need to distribute elsewhere.
Say it again.
Hoarding.
Okay.
You know, and it's just, I understand it's just like goalpost. I feel like that people want to strive to hit. And I also, especially in hip hop culture, we talked about that with, you know, everybody wants to hit a Billy.
Yeah.
You know, Kanye talks about it and stuff has talked about it as well. I don't feel bad. Look, I'm happy they're successful. I think he deserves to be successful, but I'm also one of those people that believes that there should be a cap. Okay. You know, I'm a capitalist because I live in a capitalist society, not because I want to be, you know, and it's, you know, it's just kind of how I feel.
I ain't mad at you, bro. Jay Brookins, jump in, man. What you think?
A black man with $1 billion, bro.
Yeah,
like I gotta give him the, you know.
I love seeing it. I ain't gonna cap. I love seeing it.
He's got it, man. Like he's got $1 billion. Like he's fighting battles that we don't see. Like I know sometimes he gets soundbited like this and says some things that may be to my to my untrained ears. You know, I don't have $1 billion. I don't know what that's like. When I hear that kind of stuff, it sounds like he's almost making fun of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he talking about? Capitalist. That word's been around, dude. Like,
Right.
what do you like?
Right.
You tripping, Jay? Like, nah. He's just, like that's him, man. If that's what he wants to say, I'm good with that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not tripping off that. I don't see why people are so upset about this. Like, he's obviously talking billionaire talk, and
I think that's why, though.
yeah. Oh, it's
The fact that he's talking,
He's
billionaire
talking.
talk.
He's supposed to be this philanthropist. This, what is he doing with it? Like if we're talking, I mean,
I feel like he's actually one of the people that actually do things
I was about to
positive
say
with
that.
their
Yeah,
money. You know what I'm saying?
I was
Like,
about
for
to
sure.
say that
For
Yeah.
sure, but if we talk about like capitalism versus socialism, what they're talking about, like the end goal shouldn't be for the rich people to give out stuff for the people that are unbalanced. It should be for the systems to be set up so everybody can rise, right? And if you're a capitalist, that means that you are the person. He's the Billy. He gets to choose and sprinkle the stuff on, as opposed to spreading it and being so there's nuance in there, I guess.
Yeah.
Jay Moore, what you think, man? Jay and the capitalist word.
Well, when we talk about capitalism, it really can sometimes, I understand why it's a dirty word to some people, but I understand also from what I do, and not to get into too much detail, I understand that capitalism has a place, but say I've learned to build a better mousetrap, and I can make that mousetrap for $1, but I sell it to you for $9.99. Okay, that doesn't make me evil because I don't sell it to you for $2 as opposed to $9. But capitalism is also the reason why the price of insulin has skyrocketed.
Talk to him.
Despite the fact that the actual way they make insulin there hasn't been any change since the last 30 to 40 years.
Yeah.
But it's just because they can do it, and they do it anyway. And the whole Martin Shkreli thing, that's capitalism at its very worst. So if somebody, there are people out there who have $1 billion because they literally learned to make that better mousetrap. But then there are people who have $1 billion because, okay, here's something that costs $10 for me to produce, and I know people, they don't just want it, they need it.
Yes.
And I can charge them $900 for it. I always say,
Supply and demand.
that capitalism is great for the things that we want, but it's very bad for the things that we need. Like the fact that, remember when flat screen TVs first came out, they would be like
Lord have mercy.
$8,000-$9,000. These were actual luxury items.
Yes.
Now they basically give flat screen TVs away. When you go to a store, it'd be like, I can get a 50-inch TV with smart features and internet connectivity, and it's 4K, and I only have to pick for $400.
Yeah.
I know.
It's crazy.
Insane.
Like I'm old enough to remember if you went to
was
somebody's
like
house and they had a
25.
32-inch TV, they were balling.
It was
Yeah.
like watching the movies.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Back then.
but when it comes to, say, fixing the water problem in Jackson, Mississippi,
Yeah. Shout out to Coach Prime.
Yep.
when you talk about that, and there's like, well, maybe we can bring in privatization. No, making the bad water more expensive is not helping.
Facts. Facts.
So I understand why people have a very complicated and very nuanced sometimes relationship with capitalism. And, when Jay-Z says these things, I'm like, man, that was, at first my initial reaction was that was a dumb thing to say.
Yeah,
Right.
essentially, that's pretty
Right.
much-
But, I can see where in his mind he sees goalposts moving.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I figured out this part of the game that they've kept from us,
Right.
but now you're going to use that and say that capitalism is now evil. And
Right.
so I can,
Yeah.
I can't exactly see things from his perspective. Like I said, I live week to week, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like if I don't go,
I have no idea what
if
his
I don't
issues
go
are.
out here and get it, it is not there to be gotten.
for sure.
And so like if Jay-Z just said, I'm not getting out of bed this morning, it would probably be detrimental to him in some sort of way because
I doubt
people
it.
would be.
I don't think it would be detrimental.
But
bro.
you know what?
He doesn't have to get out of bed
His
for the
kids
next
aren't missing any meals.
years.
he
He's
can
not,
sleep for 3 months.
He
and
doesn't
everything
sleep
gonna be
until he
fine.
dies.
he
Okay.
doesn't have to worry about keeping his lights on or his next meal. If I just say, you know what, I'm not doing this today. There are some days where that's what gets me up out of the bed
100%.
is because I like to eat and have shelter.
That's right.
Okay,
But that's true.
Yes,
That's
sir.
real.
That's real though. That's real.
So
Yeah,
that's why
respect
I can only but at the same like I said, I can see where he could see goalposts moving
Yeah.
because here is I'm a black man with no formal education who comes from Marcy projects, and I figured out how to get here, and now capitalism is something to be looked down upon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, when it was Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. Now, don't get me wrong, I have my issues with them because it's like, come on, man, you cornered the market, you did all these things, and you pushed people out, and you did some dirty stuff to get here.
Yeah,
you know, because it's hard to really think. Okay, if you have $1 billion, there's somebody you stepped on.
No, there's
Somebody
no
out there
doubt
crying.
You
about it.
stepped on somebody to get to $1 billion.
Yo, be clear. There's no doubt about it that you stepped over and on somebody.
Because think
to
about
get
it.
to that
Because you know what? The only
Somebody
time
might have died.
The only time
100%.
we've seen a billionaire taxed correctly is when that person won the lottery. And it was like 1 point something billion, and they came in and took like 450 million off the top.
Yes, sir.
Facts, man.
Because you know
cried
what, that was
for
a
that person.
regular person that won the lottery. So okay, yeah, you won $1 billion, but you ain't a billionaire.
She or he is still
Now,
straight.
don't get me
though,
wrong,
for the
they
record.
ain't missing no meals either.
Not at all. Not at all.
But I'm just saying, like, if you want to see a billionaire get taxed properly, yeah, let somebody win $1 billion in the lottery, and you'll see exactly how billionaires should be taxed.
Nah, for sure. Jay made I'll just say real quick. Jay made
Yes,
a really good point about Jay feeling like they probably moved the
Moved the
goalposts. I
goalposts.
think that's really what it is. Jay was in this world. He figured out the formula.
Yeah.
He got there. And now it's becoming more labor movement and all that stuff is becoming more popular. You know, equity is becoming more popular now. This wasn't necessarily super popular in as mainstream as it is 25 years ago.
Facts.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's a good point, Jay.
it's a wild thing to say because I remember when
I mean, it was, but it wasn't
when
because of social
Sean
media.
Combs came out, it had Sean John, you know, and
I had some.
somebody, I remember hearing, you know, somebody say this, you know, because this is just how sometimes our people are. They'd be like, you don't need no more of my money. And I was like, but you don't ever say that about Ralph Lauren.
No, you do
You
not.
don't ever say that
Talk
about
to
Tommy
him.
Do
Hilfiger.
not.
You don't ever say those people don't need it. But, you know, when a black man does the exact same thing,
Right.
Then
So
all
there's
the-
that.
then there's all of a sudden people within the culture, not even just black people, they'll be like, well, he don't need no more money. But you don't ever, like I said, and I can't say nothing because I got a bunch of Ralph Lauren in my closet.
Right.
But you know, I've never you'll never hear a white person or a black person say Ralph Lauren don't need no more money.
No.
It depends. But again,
We'll say Jay-Z don't need
it
no more money.
depends on the circles you're a part of as well. You know what I mean, too. And I don't feel like when we talk about talking politics, I feel like when we're talking like left and right, and we're talking like actual socialism and actual capitalism, there isn't a huge socialist type movement in this country. Realistically, I mean, it's still very much Democrat, liberal, and conservative, right wing. That's really what it is. So most people don't even. This is not our day to day. You know what I mean? Unless you like actively go out and seek it. So I guess back to the point. I mean, I can understand why Jay feel. I think the goal point that was the best thing that you said, because that kind of resonated. I feel like that's probably how he feels. It's like, the goalposts are moving again. Oh, they're just trying to, because it was even questions like, oh, they're just changing what the N word or what he say feels like likened to be a capitalist to the N word or something.
Yeah.
I feel like that's probably what.
It's like now that I'm a capitalist.
Yeah, now that
I'm a capitalist. Now
but
I'm able to,
realistic,
and I'm
but-
playing by the rules that were given to me. All of a sudden, this is a bad thing.
And the rules are changing slowly, and so he's a part of that. And the big part of this movement is Black Twitter, you know, and stuff that's popping off like that. And so, it is what it is.